Hi everyone, we are
LaChiMoLaLa.
LaChiMoLaLa, and this is a review for In the Soup Season 2, Episode 3, BTS version. And
Mhm.
now we have to say that because there's multiple versions.
Right?
Um, but this was another really fun episode. I still can't get over how long they are. It's like 118, no, 118 minutes is like 2 hours. It's an hour and 18 minutes. It's a long
Yes.
time compared to Run BTS, which is like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like all the time with the boys and more. And honestly, that's still my favorite part. I think I've mentioned it every time, but saying it again, I love how long it is.
Yeah, who doesn't? So before we begin, I'm gonna apologize because my voice sounds a little bit raspy. You might not hear it, but I can hear it. But I'm a little bit under the weather. Like my allergies have gotten to me, so I apologize in advance. I might be drinking and sipping a little bit of water or coffee to the side. But you know, I didn't want to skip this week. We didn't want to skip this week, and we want to talk about the episode because it was so fun.
It was so fun. I had
Yeah.
such a good time watching them. I mean, I always do, but like this felt extra fun. Now that they're kind of settled in and they're getting into their rhythm and everything.
Yeah. So the episode starts off with the guys sleeping. So and that makes total sense because we actually saw on Twitter how Suga represented all the guys in their sleeping positions. And I especially noticed Tay Tay with his pillow vertically so that he could like cuddle with it, because
Mhm.
he's a cuddler.
He needs a
So
full body pillow at all time or a
yeah,
JK.
yeah, he needs to spoon, so he had that pillow like positioned perfectly for it, so it was cute like in the beginning to see like them rise and shine kind of thing. And as you mentioned before, like JK used to be the last one to get up, right? Now he's the
Yeah.
first one because he's a responsible dog dad.
He sure is. And I think that Bam's actually really good too, because he's not like trying to get his attention. Like I guess he must not have to. You know what I mean? He knows dad will get up in time. Like my cat is always trying to wake me up 3 hours before my alarm.
I know. Yeah, my two dogs would jump on the bed like at 7:15 if one of us do not get up. Like they just know their breakfast time.
But Bam's like really chill considering he's like large and still a puppy. Like
Yeah.
he's very adorable.
Yeah, and I have a 5-year-old and a 11-year-old. I want food all the time. Be like Bam, you guys.
Come on.
but but yeah, so he's the responsible one and he gets up and he feeds Bam and then he walks over and I I love all the cooking sequences. So he starts off with cooking his own breakfast, and I love how he like just speaks out loud like as if he's like on a cooking show,
Right? They're all like doing cooking vlogs now. It's like
Yeah.
here's a recipe. Here's how I'm making this. Honestly, what he made looked good, and it did not look
Yeah.
hard. I was like, I can make that. I mean, sans ketchup. I think ketchup and eggs are weird. I'm not one of those people.
Oh, I'm
Um,
I'm totally one of those people.
no, are
I am.
you?
I
My
am.
gosh, never make eggs for me.
Yeah, I don't know because like there's like a lot of especially in Japanese recipes like they
I like
have a lot of.
tomatoes, but not ketchup. I'll have tomatoes in breakfast, but not ketchup.
Oh, no tomatoes for me. I want the process, please.
No, fresh, 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 fresh.
Coming from a person who should be eating healthy. I
Yeah, who
should be
does
eating healthy.
CrossFit? Not me.
I should be eating healthy, you guys, but I
But
don't.
I liked how
So,
it looked like he almost like French toasted the toast, like it was like slathered in the egg, and then there were eggs in the middle and everything. And then he made like the sandwich. I was like, oh, I could totally do that. That looks very easy and delicious with the cheese in it. Ooh. Mm.
yeah, and then like he flipped it all like fancy and stuff. He's become quite the cook now because
He
he's learned.
really has. And one
Yeah,
more thing JK's amazing at.
I know. He's learned so much from Suga and Jin,
Yeah.
like two older brothers that totally know how to cook. And he's always there to like help,
Yeah. He
So,
actually is interested. Anything he doesn't know, he wants to know. That's a
yeah,
really good personality trait to have.
yeah.
I should add that to my Bumble requests. Inquisitive mind.
Yes.
Follow through.
And you know, at least knows how to cook or tries to cook. Yeah, but yeah, so then Jin is the next person to rise up, right? And then
I swear it's because he smelled the food, even though he was in another building. But I feel like as soon as something's cooking, Jin and J-Hope are like, hey, I'm hungry. Who's are you already cooking? Oh, I had no idea. Yeah. I had no idea. I'm just starving.
But you know, for Jin though, but before he entered the house though, like he just chilled on that tube.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had a moment of zen.
Yeah,
on the unicorn in the pool, which I was very impressed because if I had been in my pajamas and tried to get on that thing, 100% I would have flipped it over.
Me too.
100%. I am not that coordinated. So I thought it was amazing that he got in and got out and didn't even get the bottoms wet. I was like, wow.
I was like, how the heck are you able to do that? Because I would.
Probably because he's tall, right? He has like long limbs. Us shorties can't get in and out of that kind of a thing. I mean, my feet would have been like.
I got short legs. So like, no.
Not happening.
Yeah. So then he enters the house and he did the same thing again like he does before. Like JK was done cooking his sandwich and he comes over and he stands like they're like a cute little kid waiting for him to like feed him.
I didn't even say like in the subtitles it was like oldest acting like the youngest, youngest acting like the oldest. Like
yeah, it's so true. I mean that totally happened, you know. I thought it was the cutest thing though, you know, like they
so cute.
Yeah, like going back to our prior conversations, like they have like a really cute dynamic where they act like that, you know. So
Jin and JK particularly, they're so funny. And I feel like you don't see that in a lot of other groups, you know, maybe because of the cultural thing where there really is like a age hierarchy, but there doesn't seem to be one in BTS. Like only when Jin like really, really wants to get away with something does he pull the I'm the oldest card. But 9 times out of 10, he just lets everyone give him shit and he just goes with it.
Yeah, totally, you know, and like JK always makes fun of Jimin all the time, you know, and
100%.
They don't seem to care, you know. So that's like a totally good thing. I mean, like they did talk about a little bit about the hierarchy kind of thing, like when they were done eating, and JK's like, "Well, I'm the youngest, so I should help." You know,
yeah, he felt guilty, but it's like he cooked.
Yeah.
I love how J-Hope and RM always offer to clean because they both are like, I'm not good at cooking. Like, everyone always offers to do their part, do their bit, but like they know where their strengths are.
Yeah.
We've seen those episodes of RM trying to cut a carrot for 10 minutes and failing. So, you know, stick to your strengths. It's cool.
Yeah, he's doing everyone a favor by staying out of the kitchen.
It would take 3 times as long and something would be on fire.
Yeah. All out of love. but yeah, so then I loved how there was a new human alarm clock and it was both JK and Jin. So it was kind of funny just walking around and like waking them up. So first was J-Hope, right? And J-Hope, they all sounded so groggy, you know. Yeah, and he's like, I'm not used to J-Hope like that because I feel like he should be the first person that's like up and running, you know, because
he always seems like the Energizer Bunny. Yeah. Like, you know, he could go forever at like an 11.
yeah. And then to hear him groggy, I'm like, whoa, this even exists? Oh my gosh, you know. And so then he agreed to eating the seafood. I'm not even pronounce like the K word, you know, because I'm gonna offend all these Koreans, you know, out there by saying it so wrong. So seafood noodle soup, you know. Mm-hmm. So
seafood noodle soup sounds like his next single.
I know.
Right? That's a very different dance though.
Yeah, maybe like octopus or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? Lambs. I don't know. I'm not sure. I really loved how JK was like, I'm going to wake up Jimin. And so he went upstairs, forgetting that Jimin had switched rooms with RM. And then when he went into RM's room, he was like, oh. And then he just crept back out. And then later, Jin was like, did you wake up RM? And he was like, no. He was just like, I'm not going to do it. It's too scary. You have to do it.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, like, is he like really Like, does he get
Not a
really
morning person,
annoyed?
but he was so nice when Jin's like, "Hey, do you want this?" And he was so polite. He was like, "No, thank you. Thanks for inviting me." Like he was
Yeah.
totally polite. I don't know why JK was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do it."
Yeah, because even Jin was like, "Hey, do you want to come up with me and wake up like Namjoon, you know?" And
Yeah, and he was like,
and
"No."
they're like, "Bye," you know. And I'm like, "What the heck? What does
He
that
seemed
mean?"
honestly like, like it'd be poking the bear, but then he was totally nice.
Yeah, he was totally sweet about it, you
Yeah.
know. And then Jimin was groggy too. Like he
I
had
think he
just
goes to
fallen
bed the
asleep.
latest. I mean, he always seems to go to bed in the morning, right? He's probably in bed on one of those people who's on his phone for like a couple hours,
Yeah, yeah. Oh
because
yeah,
every day he's been like, I just went to sleep. And it's like, it's 10 a.m. When
yeah,
did you go to sleep? And he's like, 8.
yeah. Seriously.
He's a night owl like me.
Yeah, he's a total night owl. And oh yeah, and they actually went to Suga too. And so he agreed to it. He's like, yeah, I'm down
He
for
got up
that.
pretty quick.
He got up so fast because he was already like awake, I think, and he was
Yeah.
like
He was on his phone, I think,
phone.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then
And he's like,
he
"Oh, are we cooking? I'll get up."
yeah, yeah. He just loves cooking. That must
He
be like
does.
his
It really,
favorite.
you could tell. I feel like you see how much he loves when other people are eating his cooking. It's like not even for himself. The
Yeah.
gratification he gets, I think, is cooking for a group, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah, and I need more people like that in my life.
I feel like I cook stuff that my friends don't even like. So, it's a catch 22. It's like I want to cook for them, but they don't like anything I like. And
Well,
I'm sorry, but if you're cooking, you should cook something you'll eat.
that is true. That is very true. Yeah. And so with V2, he decided to sleep in too. So 95s plus RM decided to
Yeah.
sleep in. And then yeah, and the rest of the guys like decided to make the food, well, minus J-Hope. J-Hope made coffee for everyone.
Right. Yes. That's right, because it's J Hope's Cafe. J
Yeah.
Hope is the OG barista doing what he does. I love
Yeah.
how much he sucks down coffee. I guess I kind of knew that, but it's funny to see him every day be like, I'm not awake. I need 2 Americanos to be awake.
Yeah. He totally chugs that thing. And I
He
was
has
like,
such an addiction.
yeah, so I guess like if you're a close friend of him, like you know what to get him, like some
Right?
sort of like Starbucks gift card or something.
French press.
Or French press, yeah.
And I know Suga used to be a coffee addict, but I think he kind of like weaned himself off of it a
Oh,
couple
did
of years
he?
ago. He only has
Oh.
like sips now and then now. I think he used to
Oh.
stay up really late working on music, obviously.
Of course. Of course.
So he used to be like a coffee junkie, but he kind of like got off. I mean, it's not super good for you to have like 8 cups of coffee every day, J-Hope.
It's
But you're
true.
resting. When you're resting, you can have anything you want. That's my philosophy. And when I'm on vacation, I can have anything.
Yes.
And it's good for me and is totally fine.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Yeah. So then they were after they had their meal, was it JK serenading Bam? Did I fast forward too much? I'm
No,
trying to
no,
remember.
yeah.
Okay, I'm like trying to remember the sequence of the episode. Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was super cute.
Of
Like,
course you did.
yeah.
Anything with the dog, I know that you're gonna be like, hmm. I'm pretty sure JK is turning into your wrecker, right?
Oh man.
This is really, I mean, the whole BAM situation is really getting
Oh,
to you.
oh, it totally is. Oh. Yeah, like he's such a good doggy dad, man. Oh man. Serenade your dog. And that's a cute song, So I'm like, oh. Yeah.
I love how every day they're like, everyone's singing at different intervals, basically. It's just like, oh, I'm bored. I guess I'll go sing.
Yeah.
So funny. It's
Yeah.
like, that's literally their job. They are resting from that, but that's how much they love it. It's fun for them too.
Yeah. And they just like completely like sing whatever they're doing too, like food, like, okay. They're really passionate about music. Clearly.
I love it. I love it. So cute.
Yeah, and so we saw JK serenading Bam, and Bam was super cute, and of course he's sitting on the sofa like, oh, thanks, Daddy,
Right? Like a human, just being like, oh, you're so wonderful at everything.
Yeah, you're so good at everything. And then I guess like a few hours must have passed by because J-Hope started eating again.
Right? Yes. This is
Yeah,
an eating show for J-Hope.
yeah,
Wasn't he like the first episode? I think there was a point where like they had all eaten, and then 10 minutes later, he's like, I'm hungry.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, dude, he probably does like a lot of cardio anyways with all his dancing. Yeah, so he still has like a fast metabolism or something. Yeah,
He's like he's a stick.
I know. Oh, so jealous. But I know. Yeah. So then he makes croffles. Like, have you ever heard of that?
No. And I was like, I don't understand what makes it a cruffle. Is it the kind of batter he's using?
So
I'm sure you looked it up. Give me your research.
Okay, so I actually did not look it up for once, but looking at, I know, oh my God. See, this is when you know that I'm sick, okay? I'm not looking stuff up. What is my deal? I know. I know. But just from the visuals, it looks like it's a croissant and a waffle,
Yeah, but so he made it in the waffle maker. That's why I'm wondering, was it like more like a croissant batter? It must have been, huh?
Yeah, I think
so it was like flaky and stuff, maybe.
Yeah. And he smushed it in like the waffle maker, which was so interesting because now it makes me want to make it too because it looks so easy to make.
Really good. And I liked how he made like a savory one and a sweet one. Like one had like cheese and like peppers on it and stuff, and then the next one had like strawberries and whipped cream. So versatile. Like it reminded me more of like a crepe.
Yeah, exactly. Like actually the first one, the one with the cheese, looked really good too. I was like, oh, I mean, initially I was like, cheese, and I'm like, I don't know how.
Well, I love savory crepes are my favorite. I don't really like the dessert ones that much. I like ones with like ham and brie. That's all melty. They're really so good. Yes. Oh my gosh.
I have a major sweet tooth. Like I'm surprised like I don't have big teeth right now. Because I love sweet stuff. Oh yeah. If you told me like, do I like sweets or savory, I will.
You'll always pick sweets.
I will always pick sweets. Yeah, and and also like one of my favorite pastimes is baking. So
that's true. So you must have really looked at that and been like, I could do that. That's not too hard.
Oh yeah, So I looked at that. I was like, oh, that looks like fun. So you just roll like the pastry dough, like it
was funny because when you put it in there, it kind of looked like a croissant. Because he made like these weird like egg shapes.
Yeah. So he made it look really pretty, and then then the waffle machine did all its work. But okay, like let's rewind just a tad bit. Okay, how funny was that like I thought it was gonna be a disaster with J-Hope making the croffles because like he couldn't even put the waffle pan together.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, should I be nervous about this? Because I'm like, oh my gosh.
He's like, it doesn't work. It doesn't get together. And Jimin's like, I've got this. Click.
Yeah. And that was so cute. And then they did the exact same thing again. They did the little hug, like he did with when he got rid of the bug. In the first episode, they did like.
JK will always praise you. He's immediately like, "Oh my God, you're amazing. Oh my God, you're the best. How did you do that? You are amazing."
Yeah, J-Hope was so cute. Like he was like so stunned. Like, oh, you're so amazing. Oh my god.
Whoa, dude. Whoa.
but Jimin's response is really hilarious because he was like, oh, I was nervous or something like that I wouldn't be able to put the whatever put together, and then he's like, this is my nervous dance, and he started dancing, and I was like,
well, I think J-Hope made it look really complicated. So when he went over there being like, I'm going to do this, of course, in the back of your head, you're like, I hope I can do this. I just said I can do this. So it's hilarious that it took him one shot. Click.
Yeah. So I thought that was super cute. That was,
and for me, of course, the cutest part of the whole Cruffles thing was when Tay came in halfway through. And Tay with anyone else eating is hilarious. The way he does like this look, he looks like a puppy dog, and he's always like, and people naturally want to feed him. So J-Hope, of course, is like, here, have a bite. And he's like, oh, it's good. And he was like, do you want the rest of this? And he's like, no. And then J-Hope feeds him another bite. He's like, I already had a full one. And he's like, here, have the rest of this. He's like, no, I'm not gonna eat all this. He's literally putting it in his mouth, being like, no man, you made it, you should eat it. It's really good though. It's really good.
Oh my gosh. It was the cutest thing.
I was so obsessed with it. I love whenever they feed each other, just like how you're talking about JK and Jin.
Yeah.
But this was just so adorable because he was like, no man, I mean, you made it, you should definitely eat it.
It's like one of those things like, you should do it, but in the back of his head it's like, oh, please give me some more.
Right, he's like, I'm being polite, I really want this, like,
yeah. And it was so funny, like when he was done with it, he was like, or J-Hope was done with it pretty much, he's like, oh, I'll have the leftovers. And he was so happy eating it, you know. Yeah. And so I was like, you wanted the whole thing from the beginning.
He got most of it.
Yeah. But it was so cute though, like even J-Hope was like, okay, open your mouth. And he just you know,
was like, you don't have
it was
adorable. I love anytime somebody feeds Tay, obviously, so cute.
Yeah, so that was, and then just and you know, he enjoyed it too because he sat there,
he's like,
he was so happy. You know, he kept saying, am I in paradise right now?
Right, he's like, this is
paradise.
And then afterwards he was totally like, okay, I'll clean this up, like, you know, no hemming and hawing, no trying to get out of stuff. You know, like, everyone doing their bit.
Yeah. And then you have RM too, like he's upstairs in his study because he got up and he didn't eat at all, like until the croffles.
Yeah, he like went straight to reading. I mean, he had like a snack or something, right?
Yeah.
Like with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he had okay, now I remember. So when Jimin made his what J-Hope said, a very Korean breakfast.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, that's right. And Jimin was also doing a cooking show.
Yeah.
Like nonstop, being like, now I'm gonna do this. Now I'm doing this. Now I'll do this. Like every single I wonder if it's because there's obviously a GoPro like right in front of the stove. So when you're in front of the stove, I think you just naturally turn it on, right? You're like, hello everyone, I'm here cooking Korean breakfast today. Get ready.
It was like the cutest thing because both J-Hope and Jimin were like, so this is how you do it, you know, like Jimin was like, I'm cracking an egg. Like, it's funny because like for me, I'm like, no, if I wake up, I don't want to talk. I just want to go straight to the kitchen and just cook and just do my bid and then call it a day. But they were so happy, like they well rested. They were like pretty much, like you said, doing their cooking vlog, you know.
So cute.
And he almost forgot his rice with his meal, and J-Hope was like, you forgot your rice. And then he's like, whoops. And then he turns around, he grabs it. Yeah. But then he sat down and he ate. And then that's when J-Hope was still there. Tay wasn't there yet. And then J-Hope screams to RM like, oh, have some Cruffles or something like that. And then he takes the earplugs out, comes downstairs, tries the Cruffles. Then Jimin makes a remark saying like, yeah, you know, like back in like I think the whole conversation started with like maybe with the toppings with the Cruffles, I think. And then he talked about granola. And then
he made a giant bowl of granola.
Yeah. And then Jimin said this one line that got me like, what? Who told you that? Basically saying like, oh, granola doesn't, like, I guess back in the day they ate a lot of granola because someone told them that they don't gain weight from eating granola.
And is that not true?
That is not true.
I don't know.
That is
I think eating a bowl of granola is really random. I mean, I guess it's not. I mean, here in the States we just put a bunch of Greek yogurt under it, but it's not my go-to, you know what I mean?
I mean, like, unless like I mean, okay, maybe Korean granola is different. I don't know what their ingredients are.
Maybe it's not like coated in honey.
Yeah, maybe not. Show me the ingredients, RM. I want to know.
But you did not believe that. You were like, you've been lied to. It probably does have like a lot of protein though. And if you can't afford anything else and you're dancing all day, it's probably okay.
Yeah, it's full of carbs, really. It's full of carbs. So, I mean, it's everything in moderation, right? So like I was like, someone lied to you, Jimin. Like, that's not true. It's like full of carbs and like At least, okay, don't eat granola in the United States then, because
Yeah,
that I know for certain has a lot of sugar in it.
be a shock
So
to your system.
yeah, yeah, because like Nature Valley, like everyone likes that bar, but I mean, in that cute little green package, but it is full of sugar.
I don't know.
So I make it sound like I'm a health nut, but like
I don't need it.
I,
I have a texture issue with a lot of things, and granola is one of those things where it's like 9 times out of 10 I'll pass.
yeah, the only
Every
time
once in a while, if we're starving and lost on a hike, which I refuse to go on, then I will eat your granola bar. But most of the time, I'll be like,
yeah, granola bars is
give me an apple instead.
yeah. Like granola bars, I would eat them if I'm traveling or like you said, it's not like my go-to either. Or I'm in a macros phase where like I'm doing some sort of cut or something. So
I don't know what any of that meant.
okay,
That's
well,
fine.
if I'm
Sidebar.
if
Later.
if I'm on a certain diet,
Got
then
it. Got it.
but clearly I'm not on a special diet right now, but whatever.
So,
But
so
yeah,
no, you're saying don't go on the granola diet. It won't work.
it won't work.
All right,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. Everything in moderation, you guys.
I
So,
do love how at least a third of every episode is just based around kitchen stuff because
oh,
we've
I
got kitchen
love
stuff
it.
now, and then spoiler alert, there'll be kitchen stuff later. Which makes
I'm,
sense. When I'm on vacation, mostly all I'm worried about is what I'm eating.
yes. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'm loving these episodes because I love watching them cook. Like, what are they going to cook next? It's like so much fun watching them cooking. So,
What happened after they ate breakfast? Was that when
uh,
they were? Is that when J Hope like ran outside for the cars?
yes, the race cars. So they were doing the him and Tay were duking it
Little
out with their
RC cars.
yeah, that's so J-Hope is really good at that.
He was good at it. I mean, it's probably not super hard. I haven't done it since I was like 12.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been a while for me too.
But yeah, it was really cute. I loved how, like, of course, it only took them 3 minutes to get competitive. And they were like, let's race, let's race, let's do
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And then you see JK on his ATV like pass by. I'm like, dear
Right. He was
Lord.
like, oh, you're going to play on little cars? Whatever.
Such a manly man. I'm like,
Right.
okay.
I love how he loved that's like the second day in a row. He obviously loves that thing. He was like, yes, going back out. And he went
Yeah.
far this time. It was like RM when he rode the bike. He like went far. I mean, the drone had to follow.
Yeah, totally. Man, but like he has like a great time on that ATV. And then you have like J-Hope and Taeyang, like duking it out and in their little like imaginary racetrack, which like their car flipped a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah. Tay's not the best driver. I don't know that for a fact on real cars. Probably fine on real cars. But J-Hope seriously kicked his butt on this. And it was crazy because J-Hope then he just stayed outside for a really long time because then he started making his water rocket. And like, I mean, he one of the ones who was talking about how it was too hot to do stuff the first day. And then the second day he's like, whatever, I'm just gonna stay outside.
Yeah. Hashtag team outdoors.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, I have to say though, like his whole like making the water rocket. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Like it's kind of like a little bit heart-wrenching just like knowing his story behind that, like saying, like he had more in him as a kid, like building stuff, but like he kind of like, you know, he kind of just wants to relive like part of his childhood.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Well, I thought it was cute
oh,
because he was like, I was never, I wanted to be good at it, but I wasn't. And we've all
yeah,
had things like that. Like I kind of in the same way. And like, if there's something I've always wanted to try, I will at least take one class on it, even if I'm terrible. Cause I'm like,
yeah,
well, I always wanted to try it. Like,
yeah.
so I
Why
totally felt for him. Yeah. I was like, yeah, you get it. You do it. Although honestly, for me, I was like, no, thank you, science. I appreciate scientists because that's not me. Anyone who does a job that I never want to do, I love them the most. So like
yes.
scientists and janitors are my favorite people. Because you do a job that I feel like is thankless. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank
But
you
you're
out
right. His
there.
story was really inspiring. He was so cute how he was like, I'm gonna make this. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh my gosh. And he was persevered, you know.
Yes.
Oh
But you
my
must have
gosh.
had some thoughts when RM came out and was this when he was jogging or was this pre-jogging? I know that you don't think he should be jogging in those house slippers.
How did you know? You know me too well.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, Tanner's gonna have a lot to say about this."
Yeah, so he stepped outside right when J-Hope started his water rocket and
That's right.
started
He
to
was with
build it.
Bam and they were like cheering him on and like, didn't he like take a picture of him like when it worked for the first time? He was like a proud dad on the sidelines.
Yeah, so
So
that
cute.
so he was there for that. So in the beginning he went for a jog first because he took J-Hope a while to put everything together, you know. And so yeah, RM like, you know, started like stretching. I'm like, oh, he's very flexible. All right, you know, like good for you. Stretch out those inner thighs, you know. And I'm like, very good job. And so and then he started to run and I'm like, and I looked at his feet and I'm like, I was like, why are you running in slippers on gravel? Why?
Right? On slippery grass, honestly. I was thinking I would have fell like at least twice.
I was like, what kind of padding do you have on those sandals? I'm like, Jesus, you know, like, should I buy these sandals on Weavers to try them out? Because these seem like really like they do everything in them. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, you know, but yeah, of course I'm sitting there. I know I
You were
couldn't
judging.
help but
You were
judge.
judging hard. I know you were. You were
I
like,
was.
I'm proud of you for working out, but this is all wrong.
Yeah. I'm like, you're young right now, but it's gonna catch up to you later. I would know, you know. So
What'd you say
yeah.
about Jimin today? He needs to be
Oh,
careful of those chairs. You're like, someday he's gonna be old and break a hip.
it's true.
It wasn't wrong. That's why it was funny. I was like, you're right.
I mean, like, you need to stop pulling out those chairs,
He
you know?
needs to like come to a truce with the chairs. He just needs to figure it out.
Yeah, not a spring chicken, y'all. You know, like you're young now, but once you, man,
Yeah.
once you're over your 30s, then you start realizing like, oh, I need to take better care of my body, you know? Things start to change. So
But for right now, apparently RM can do his morning jog in his
in
slippers.
slippers.
It's fine. It's totally fine. And you're right. It was after that he and Bam were at the side, like proud popping it, going, you could do it. Watch him. Here goes my boy. He's like, is it going to work? Is it going to work? All right, I'm going to take a video. I'm going to take a video when it works. Like, so cute.
Oh my gosh. She's
And J-Hope's face when it worked, he was like,
it was so priceless. Like, I'm so glad
so
that they
cute.
caught his like expression.
It reminded me of every like fifth grader who makes the volcano and then like in science class and when it bubbles over and everyone's like, yes.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Genius.
Mm-hmm. That was you, J-Hope. That was you.
I loved it. Loved it.
I know. I just like.
And then I loved how he had to move it back. He was like, let me do it again from over here. Watch this. So cute.
And I was like, and then of course I thought that ran through. I know I'm such an old person. I'm so sorry. I'm like, are you gonna go get that? It's like really far.
You thought that? Please. I was like, where's Bam? That boy. It's the perfect size to crumple in your mouth.
Like,
you're like, who's gonna pick up that litter? Wow, you are old.
I know.
Well, he didn't have time anyway because Jimin came out and was like, hey, you want to play some tennis? So again, he's just been nonstop outside in the heat. Like, no wonder he fell asleep later.
Yeah.
I loved how he was like, yes, let's play tennis. Let's do it. And Jimin was talking so much crap considering when they did the tennis episodes of Run BTS, he was not good. And he was like, I'm great now. Get ready for it.
Oh my gosh.
Total shit talking.
That is totally Jimin though.
Whether he's good at something or not, he's got the confidence level.
Oh yeah, totally. Even when it came to the football, like even the football, I mean volleyball, you know, like even the subtitles, they said that like, oh, Jimin, the self-proclaimed ace.
Yeah, self-proclaimed. That says it all. And then they were all like, oh, Jimin. And JK was giving him such a hard time. Oh, he's the ace. Oh, it's like, really, JK's here. He's the ace.
I know. He's the ace of everything.
Let's be real.
Oh my god.
Let's rewind. JK is not the ace of tennis. But I also loved how they were teasing each other. So okay, so J-Hope and him are playing, and then JK comes and he pulls a Bam, right? Because Bam the first day was the ball dog.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden JK is just like, oh yeah, let me just run and get he was just running and getting balls, running and getting balls. I was just like, which I thought was crazy. They literally had 1,000 balls. I was like, why are you bothering? There's like 1,000,000 balls. Don't worry about it.
I know. And he's just running back and forth. I'm like, how much energy do you have in this heat?
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Also in slippers.
How?
And then I loved how J-Hope was like obviously tired from the sun. So he was like, okay, I'm going to go sit down for a little bit. You guys play. And that's when the real fun started, I feel like, because Jimin and JK cannot help but tease each other.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Those two
together.
They're so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. But I love seeing their relationship together though, because like I feel like most of the time, like JK's the older one, but we all know he's the youngest one because he teases Jimin so much too. Yeah. So yeah, I like the dynamic between the two of them.
But it's funny during this, it like Jimin was kind of playing the older one, which he doesn't usually do. He's like, "Come on, get it together. We're playing for real."
Yeah,
then, messing around. Mm-hmm. But like sometimes he uses that older brother voice with JK, but JK knows he's always kidding.
Yeah,
like, that's not really who he is.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, right, okay.
It's like, oh, okay. Oh, you're serious now? Ooh. And I love how J-Hope was like the only person who actually knows how to play tennis. So it was actually more enjoyable for him to watch two people who don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Just laughing the whole time. Just like, oh, okay, guys, chill.
Yeah.
Chill, guys.
And can I say, like, I think I've said this like all the time, like when it comes to J-Hope's laughter, but I love it when he laughs.
Oh, it's infectious. You can't not smile when J-Hope's laughing.
Oh my gosh. Like I just crack up too, like the moment I hear him like laughing like crazy, because it's like, what's he laughing about? But I'm just laughing too.
So good.
It's so great. Yeah.
And then what was happening on Team Indoors? Suga went up to the study to hang out with RM, which is hilarious because it was literally like RM said nothing to him. He said nothing to him.
Yeah.
Like, which honestly is the way I like it. I'm reading, obviously. Don't bother me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, they were up in the study, and then V.
I thought it was cute. I was like, look at the two of them.
I know the older brothers up there.
Well, the oldest brother, of course.
Oh yeah, the screaming. Sorry,
got an epic 3.5-hour game to play. I love how he was like, you can't eat until you play from the beginning all the way to the end. Like he gives himself these like random challenges, and it's always food that he's withholding from himself.
Yeah, I'm like, why? Don't you need the food for energy?
So funny. And again, he's doing like his full sportscaster, like talking about himself in the third person. Like, come on, you can do it. Don't mess this up. You've got this.
Yeah,
he's his own best cheerleading squad. It's so adorable.
It's so cute. And again, it's like the cooking vlogs. Like, do you guys really cook like this and talk about ingredients? Because
is this how you do it at the dorm every day?
Yeah, because I used to be an ex-gamer and I never screamed to myself like that. Maybe I'm just a weird one, so
you haven't gotten the full appreciation out of it, obviously.
I guess obviously not. Maybe I should have gone like, oh, I'm gonna go to the corner and shoot this guy, and make sure that like he's dead, like for sure.
I love how in the first episode he had talked about how some people think that gaming isn't like something you should do to rest, that it's like pointless and stuff, and he was talking about how much he loved it though. Mm-hmm. This gave us a real opportunity. I mean, we've seen it before, but you really got to see like he was exhausted by the end. To him it was doing a lot. Like, like he worked really hard. He was like, oh, I'm tired, my eyes hurt. Oh man. Like he was like completely exhausted by the end, and it was really cute. I just thought the whole thing was really funny and endearing, and if that's like how you like to spend your time, I really don't see any problem with it.
Yeah, and you know what? I love the part too when like V came in and just sat right next to Jin though, and like was spectating, and Jin is like, oh, watch me play this like level, like all.
And V was like, what is this? I've never seen this part. It's like, oh, this is the secret level. Oh, you've never been here? Oh.
I know, seriously, like
And then
What?
even at the end, JK came in when he was doing like the final boss battle, and JK was like, "Oh, you're missing that thing." He was like, I know what I'm doing." Like he was like, "I'm not. I'm gonna get it right back." Oh, see, I got it right back. Like I don't need your,
Give
what
me
do
your
they call
advice.
that? Backseat gaming. Like I don't need it. Peanut
Yeah.
gallery, shut up.
I know. Seriously.
Also, he's doing it while wearing full Louis Vuitton. I think that Jin only packed Louis Vuitton for this trip. Everyone else is wearing in the Soop stuff, and he's like, I have so much free Louis Vuitton. This is all I'm wearing.
I know.
The first day he was in that like matching set, which gave me JK vibes.
Yes.
And then today he had the giant shirt. Like, yeah, he's just embracing that ambassadorship for all it's worth. And as he should, I would.
Yeah, seriously. That white t-shirt's probably super comfortable because it only
Right?
costs like probably $600 just for a white t-shirt with a big
Right.
LV in the back.
Because it's made from the finest Egyptian cotton or whatever.
I don't know what kind of
Hand
cotton.
sewn by nuns, blind nuns.
I don't know. But that could be it. You're right.
So yeah, I loved that. That was really adorable. And then immediately once they're done, Sugar's like, "Is it time to cook dinner? I want to cook."
Yeah.
He's like, "I've been reading. Now I'm gonna cook."
Yeah, because I guess like JK was like done working out. So
oh yeah, that's right. JK, like, he's like, "I played a bunch of tennis. I did my ATV ride. I played a bunch of tennis. Still got energy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hit that bag for a little while."
Yeah. So he did some chin-ups. And then he's like, okay, no. And then he moved over to boxing, which is his favorite thing to do.
Which he's so good at. It makes me want to try it really bad. I mean, I've wanted to try it for a while, but he makes it look really fun.
Yeah, he makes it really easy, but it's not that easy.
It's not?
No.
Sure?
Yeah, he makes it look really easy because I'm not coordinated. And when I tried boxing, oh my gosh, hot mess, hilarious, but really funny. So but yeah, he totally did like a lot of, his boxing was amazing, of course, as usual. And so yeah, so then when he ran up, or he was it on the same floor? I don't know. When he walked over to get
he's on the same floor as the kitchen.
Yeah.
Sugar like heard him and he was like, "What? Cooking time? Time to cook?"
Yes.
He was literally just waiting. I feel like reading for Sugar is like sleep mode. He was just waiting until he had enough energy to make more food.
Yeah. And then he heard JK like gurgling water, and stuff like that. And the guy doesn't even have time to shower yet. And all of a sudden he's like, "All right, let's cook dinner." And then he's like, "I'm beat." He totally ignores him.
That was amazing how he's just like, "Okay, I'm in the fridge. I'm thinking this and this and this." And JK's like, I'm sorry, I'm really tired. And he's like, "Uh-huh. So I'll make this and then you can use the other part to make the second thing." Like, what? That to me was serious Big Brother vibes. You know what I mean? He was just like, "I don't care what you think you're doing. I'm telling you we're doing this. So do this."
Well, that was like the same thing that Jin did to him in the morning when they were cooking seafood soup, or the seafood noodle soup.
Because he was like, "I already made my breakfast," and Jin's like, "Okay, cool, but we have to make this."
Yeah, that one. And then a second time, he pretty much was like, "So do you want like a clear broth or a thick broth?" And then he has sugar, and then Jin was all for the thick broth too. And then he asked poor JK, and JK's like, "Oh, I want clear." He's like,
and both of them were like, "No."
Yeah, he's like, "Your opinion doesn't matter. Majority
like,
rules."
Why did you ask?
Yeah. Totally.
But I did think it was funny. He said no twice, but when Sugar ignored him twice, he was like, "All right."
Yeah.
He was like, "Okay, fine, let's do it."
He can't.
And then
no.
Sugar was even asking him like for recipe tips. It's like, dude, he doesn't even want to cook.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But he was so good natured about it. And then again, it was like cooking vlog. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Here's all my stuff. Here's how I'm gonna do it. I love how he watched like what looked like a 5-second video and then made like a whole meal. I was so impressed.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, like, ooh, that's just like so amazing. I mean, why did I make that face? I'm so sorry. Not like, whoa.
I love how he cooks kind of how I do. I'm always like, is this enough garlic? Probably not. Let's throw one more in there. Is this enough spices? Probably. I'll just put one more tablespoon in. Like, I feel like most people think that I mean, I like my cooking, and a lot of people do, just pointing that out there. But
Mm.
there are some people who are like, oh, it's too spicy, but I like spicy. So I'm always like, oh, I could use a little more. Just a little more. I mean, just 2 more tablespoons. That's fine.
And you know, I feel like the best like dinners and stuff like that are the ones that you kind of wing a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like he kind of was just like, oh, I'll take some of this. I'll throw some of this in, put some of this in.
Yeah.
I did love how the oil was splattering him. That was kind of making me laugh because I've definitely done that making tacos before where I'm just like, why'd I use this much oil? I knew it was going to be too much. Now it's all over. It's all over the stove. It's all over me. I'm getting burned. What's happening? Like,
And then you have Suga over there. He's like, you should have taken the moisture out. And then he walks away, you know?
yeah, and he just smiled at him and then was like,
I was like, okay.
yeah, I should have told you that a while ago, but
I know. Oops.
and of course JK is like, oh, I only made a little bit in case I made it terrible, and it's amazing. It's chef quality.
I know. So J-Hope walks in, right? And then he's like, oh, he made that remark. And then J-Hope, you know, he's like pretty much saying like, you're good at everything, you know, like, come on.
Let's also not forget J-Hope literally came in and was like, I'm starving.
Yeah.
Like he opened the door and was like, I'm starving, JK, what are you making? Like he was like a beast, and he insisted on trying it. And then once he tried it, he gave him a lot of praise, but then he was instantly like, I'm starving, JK, when is it done? Are you ready? Let's eat it. And he was like, we got to get the other guys, and he's like, no, we don't. Get it over here.
He gave him
if it was up to J-Hope, he wouldn't have told anyone, and they would have whole play by themselves.
It's all that Team Outdoors, you know,
right?
that sends out
eating machines.
Oh man, yeah, but I thought that was so sweet, like saying such a Hobie thing to do, though, you know, like saying.
And
those,
he even
like,
said that he was like proud. He was like, "This is why I'm so proud that you're my younger brother.
Yeah,
you're so good at everything."
Oh, it's so cute. I love it.
Cute.
Yeah. And then of course he tried a piece of it, and then he started like saying all of that, like, oh, you made.
I love how he was like, I can't even say anything. Look at my face.
I know. Yeah. And then Jimin came in, and right, and then he asked for like to eat it too, and JK turned him down, right?
Yeah, JK was like, no, all the guys have to get together. But then Jin came in, and Jin got a piece, right?
Yeah.
Again, JK giving Jimin shit. And Jimin was totally like, oh, you're so sweet. You're right. We should wait for everyone. But the moment he left, Jin's like, I want to try it. He's like, here. And Jin's like, oh, it's so good. Well, did he think Jimin wouldn't think it was good? Because of course he was going to.
Yeah.
In fact, Jimin, I think, ended up being the last person to try it. No, RM was the last person.
Yeah,
but
RM.
It was pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah. Yeah, but he plated it so beautifully.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
Got all the kimchi out there. Like, it looked delicious. And I love how Suga kept laughing. He was like, mine's going to take 2 hours.
Yeah, he totally did.
It's super easy. It's literally just cutting a little seasoning. I was kind of dying when he was doing the salt. Because it made me think of all the Run BTS cooking episodes where they're always like doing fancy like salt throwing. Because he was just like dribbling it. Like, being so precise, whereas I probably just would have been like,
yeah, I would have done the same thing. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop wasting time.
Like carefully putting the grains in the cuts he'd made. Like, I just thought it was hilarious. He spent a lot of time putting salt and pepper on those.
Yeah,
like JK made a whole dish.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So then after that, then is that when they start the foot volleyball?
Yep, because Suga's dish needs 2 hours. So it was kind of nice though. It was smart because then they got JK's dish, and then it's like, okay, now we feel we're not starving anymore. We can go do one more thing. And then by the time they come back, pork belly.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Yeah.
So yeah, then they went outside for foot volleyball. Which I really have never seen anyone play except on Run BTS.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, is that a thing? Because
I don't think it's a thing in the States, but there's a lot of things we don't do that the rest of the world does.
That is true. Okay, again, I will research this because that's when you know that I'm not feeling well if I haven't researched any of this. But yeah, foot volleyball, I'm like, what?
It seems harder than regular volleyball. Like, I would play regular volleyball. I don't love it. I'm not super great at it. Again, short. But I mean, it can be fun, especially on the beach. But foot volleyball, I was like, ugh. I mean, I think I would be like Team RM, like super uncoordinated.
Same. I'm not coordinated. I'm not athletic. So
I love how, again, like you said, Jimin was totally like, I'm the ace. So he's like, I don't need 3 people on I should only have 2 people on my team. I'm like real good, guys. Guys, do you even know how good I am? I don't think you need you should have another person. And he like try, and now I'm kind of wondering, did he just want to get rid of RM? Kind of seemed like it.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Jim was like, no way. Me and RM and Suga on a team together? No, we're not doing that ever again. Because if you've seen Run BTS, the 100th and 101, the special episodes, the 3 of them are not coordinated enough to work together. It's just a farce the whole time. So better to have JK over there 100%.
And you know what, like, but really though, like they did improve like big time, because the first time they started playing for volleyball was from what I saw was on episode 54 of Run BTS.
Yes.
And so
they have been playing it for a while now, a couple years.
So yeah, it has to be like 4 or 5 years now, you know, but in that episode, they basically had to rally. Like initially it started off 15. Like the producer was like, you'll get your snacks if you rally 15 times. They couldn't even rally once. And then they changed it to 3 because they felt so bad.
Didn't they change it to like 7 first? And then they changed it to 3. It was like they slowly kept chopping stuff off.
Yeah, and then towards the end of the episode, they're like, oh, this is hurting our pride, blah, blah, blah. You know, like...
And they weren't, you're right, they're a lot better now. I mean, definitely a lot better. I thought it was cute how Suga kept being like, I can't have it hit like my chest or my stomach, I'll throw up. He was like, I'm so full. If it hits me in the stomach, dudes, I might just throw up dinner.
And of course, I caught the line, the subtitle where he says, I need to do more chest exercises.
I know, that was hilarious. So cute. He was like all embarrassed. He was like, sorry guys, do more chest exercises from now on. Jin was being so hilarious to him when Suga was like, I got this with my chest, and then he hit it with his foot, and Jim was like, what? Is that your chest? Is your chest on your foot? He was like all in his face, like yelling at him. I was like, whoa, Jin's getting really competitive.
Yeah, he's getting super competitive. Like
he was just laughing at him. He's like, ha ha.
That was so funny though, because like it looked like Suga was gonna go for the ball, but then like he ducked.
Yeah, hilarious. And I love how he was like, if you're not gonna, or was it JK maybe? He's like, if you're not gonna get it, that's fine. Just say you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll run up. It's just, I thought you looked like you wanted to get it.
Yeah, that's totally JK. Yeah.
I also love how I feel like JK can be very competitive. He certainly is when they play games and Run BTS, but in the Soop, he like doesn't seem to care if he wins or not. And I feel like usually he's a little more like he wants to win, you know what I mean? But he was like super laid back. He's like, whatever, we lose. I don't care.
Maybe because
which I thought was really cute.
Maybe because you're not playing for snacks.
Yeah, right. All the snacks are already available.
Yeah, he's like, I could just grab it from my fridge, you know?
But it did seem like a point of pride. Both Jin and Suga were like, we're going to do better this time. Every time they do a little better. Yeah. And Jin was totally like, I want to win this.
Yeah. But you know what? Even though he remembered like RM not doing so well, RM was really good this time around.
Yeah, he was doing great. He was keeping up with Jimin and Tae. That's no easy feat.
I know, right?
And Jimin was actually really good. It was kind of obnoxious because he was a self-proclaimed ace, but then he actually was good. And even Tae was like, whoa, you're awesome, dude. You're amazing at this.
Yeah.
Like he seemed surprised. He was like, whoa, like, have you been practicing? Whoa.
I know, like, what happened? Who have you been playing volleyball with?
Yeah, because you only see them 24 hours a day. So when are you practicing? It is a conundrum.
Yeah. Is it one of those things where like at racquetball, you have like your own little like space and he's been kicking the ball back and forth to himself? I don't know.
When they're not in the practice, they all think he's dancing in the practice room. No, he's playing foot volleyball.
Yeah, he's playing foot volleyball
with the other dancers.
Seriously, totally. How dare you? But
it was really cute, and they went for a long time. They were doing really well.
Yeah, they were doing so well.
I mean, everyone except for J-Hope, who was like, I have heat stroke. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Which was good because Bam was chasing after the ball. Yeah. Any ball Bam sees, he's like, that's mine. That's my ball. That's for me. Dad put that out here for me. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. And Bam was so cute though. And like Jimin was like, watch out, he's gonna pop the ball.
And Suga was like, he can't. Look at his tiny nose.
Yeah, look at his snout. It's too small.
He was like, he can't do it. He can't do it. Suga was not concerned at all. And Jimin was like, that's the only ball we have. I want to play foot volleyball again. Like, chill. He's not gonna do it.
Yeah, seriously.
So I thought it was sweet that J-Hope was like, I'm tired anyway. Let's go inside. And then when he was like falling asleep, like in his chair and on the couch, I mean, Bam was lying down too, but he wasn't falling asleep. He was just watching J-Hope, like, okay.
Yeah, it was so cute.
Uncle's sleeping.
And his tongue was sticking out too, you know, when he...
I mean, he wasn't unhappy. He was just like, oh, are we chilling? Okay, I'll chill.
Yeah, it was the cutest thing. Oh, I love dogs. I love dogs. Yeah. But then that game was like, we don't even know. Okay,
we don't even know the ending, right? Or do we? No, they did finish.
Right? No, they didn't finish it. We don't know who won. So who do you think is gonna win?
Ooh. Honestly, I feel like the Jin Suga JK team has rallied pretty well. I mean, they're like within a point of each other, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that they win. Just because it would be hilarious. So I kind of want them to win, which is funny because normally I don't pick the team with JK because I feel like it's a given, and I root for the underdogs, but I feel like they are the underdogs even with JK.
I actually am rooting for the other team. Like I want RM's team to win just to be like, take that, Jin.
Oh, you didn't want this on your team?
How dare you? I'm good now.
Good now. You should worry about yourself, Jin.
Yeah. Next time you think about foot volleyball, remember me.
Well, I know that the next time they play, they're gonna have to shuffle, right? Like, it'll be fun.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. So I'm wondering who's gonna win. So yeah. Ooh.
We'll see the conclusion, and then it'll be more eating show because Suga's pork will be done. Although they're gonna make 4 other dishes to go with it.
Yeah.
Ramen.
Yes.
Always.
You gotta 100%. Eat dessert.
Yeah. I mean, truffles?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe something else.
Maybe. Who knows? They still have that half a watermelon.
Oh, yeah. They can make their watermelon. Oh, I don't know if I feel like they don't repeat their dishes,
No,
so
probably not. But I'm sure there's 100 other things they can make with it. Like,
yeah.
It seems like J-Hope was the one who had all the dessert requests. So maybe he has another trick up his sleeve.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So more cooking for sure. And then like from the preview, we saw that they're gonna play more foot volleyball, but in the rain.
And when V left to go like eat JK's stuff, he said to Jimin, he's like, let's come back here after dinner. So we know they're going to play more like PC gaming, like against each other, which I always think is fun because they get super competitive over it. Yeah. I don't even need to see what they're playing. It's just hilarious hearing them like talk to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you get to see J-Hope paint too.
So. Oh yeah. And it's going to be like a rainy day. It'll be interesting. That makes sense because they've been saying it's really hot and humid. So it'll be like a nice cool down. I personally love to be in a pool during the rain. So maybe they'll be in the pool.
Yeah, that would be good. So yeah.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward.
My dog made an appearance.
Oh, your dog? Hey!
And then she walked away. Sorry.
It was a cameo.
Yeah, totally. She's like,
I'm excited to see what the next thing brings, especially I forgot about the rain. So now the rain, I feel like is going to make them be a little more team indoors. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do together. I also love when they play games together, like board games and Uno and stuff. So hopefully they'll do some of that.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to anything they do, obviously.
Yeah. And you know what? It's really funny too, like rewind a little bit, like when they were talking or doing the interviews, like all 7 of them, like agreed to like do like foot volleyball. Was it all 7 of them?
They all wanted to do a game together, but they were like, we need a big yard. I think 2 of them said foot volleyball, but all of them were like, well, we need a big yard so we can do something together, like something sporty.
Yeah. So I think it was Jimin and RM.
Yeah, they were specific, and Jimin I think even said, he's like, I'm sure someone else has said that already.
Yeah. So I thought, because I'm wondering if there's any other games that they decide all 7 of them would do together,
Yeah, because you can't play tennis with all 7. They could do basketball. I mean, they have enough for like 3-on-3.
Oh, that's true, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
We'll see. I mean, we thought they were going to play like a paintball war, but Tay was like, ow, these will hurt. It's like, forget it. No.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure they must have brought other stuff. So more to come.
I know. So, this was like a fun-filled episode. Like it didn't even feel like an hour and 18 minutes, like it was just it's really fun, like I'm enjoying in the soup so far. So I can't wait to see what's going to be on the next episode,
Yeah. Total
So,
thumbs up. Loving it.
yeah. So, do you have anything else to add that we missed or?
No, although I do wish they would tell us what they're reading. I mean, I know they're reading, but as an avid reader myself, I'd kind of like to know what books they are. Just, in case there's something interesting. I think RM should have to give a book report every time he finishes one over dinner.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I saw something on Twitter about Suga's book. It's something philosophical. Forgot what it was. It
Of
was
course it is.
a blue book, and I forgot the title of it, but it's on Twitter. Someone already saw it.
Well, see, there you go. The problem is I didn't ask the internet. That was my fault. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the next episode. I'm really enjoying it so much. Who knew you could watch a bunch of dudes like laze around and enjoy it this much?
I know, right?
It definitely makes me want to get an Airbnb somewhere.
Yeah, let's do it, Beth, and I will do a cooking vlog too.
We do an in the soup like live episode, recreate.
Yeah, let's.
It would be in a very like a tiny house, like in the middle of like scary woods.
I know. Oh yeah, speaking of scary woods, like J-Hope started screaming at the end, so I wonder
but the thing is, J-Hope screams at everything, so I'm not sure if it's really scary. It could be another insect.
Yeah, it could be another bug. That's true. That's true.
We'll have to wait and see.
I know, cliffhanger. Dear goodness, but it's really a bug. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for watching our video and our recap. So, thank you so much. So if you, please, what am I saying? Again, sick again. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And we are LaChiMoLaLa. And we will see you next time for the next episode.
안녕.